Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Where once there was a volleyball desert, there is now a garden of professional opportunity. The league that began an American sporting renaissance returns for season 4. 30 matches, 1 champion, all starts here. Team Hens taking on Team Valentine Anderson. The excitement and anticipation are over. Time to lace them up and go play. A look at how this league works. 44 of the best players on the planet on 4 teams. An innovative scoring system that is individually scored. We're going to get into that a lot more as the season goes on. You get points for positive actions. You get negative points for negative actions. And at the end, we award 1 champion, and you, the fan, can get involved with that MVP voting. Welcome inside, everybody, for Season 4. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael, former Athletes Unlimited athlete. Key, we're into this year now. What has changed from the very beginning?
Well, the level just keeps on skyrocketing. I mean, from when I was a player in 2021 until today, we've seen some of the best players in the world come through these doors. What hasn't changed is they're also the best people. I've given out so many hugs in the last hour, I can't even count. But the overwhelming sentiment, excitement.
Yeah, that level has been rising, and a big part of that, the libero position and league overall, was the addition of Morgan Hens a couple of seasons ago. She's a captain in week 1.
Yeah, and I love that she's wearing the blue jersey because she has ice in her veins. I don't think I've ever seen her lose her cool. She's just the picture of composure on court. It's almost as if she's seeing the game in slow motion. She's just predicting what's going to come, and it's going to be really fun to watch this team unravel or sort of come to their fruition here today.
And on the other side, it's a setter, another veteran, Natalia Valentine Anderson.
Yeah, and if Morgan is the ice, Nati is the fire. She just lives and breathes that scrappy underdog mentality. She's got a nasty first touch on the serve, and she's going to be diving all over the court to keep a ball alive. Don't be fooled. She is undersized, but she's not just there to dish up to a hitter. She's going to get some blocks and some defense as well.
Great point about the service of Natalia Valentine Anderson. It is sneaky good.
Yeah, she's got so many skills, and that's what's so exciting about this first game day is that we're going to get to see what people have been working on in the last year and what's changed, what's improved. So many good things to watch out for.
We'll give you all the details on the scoring system as we go through. If you're unfamiliar with it, you have positive and negative for everything. Service being one of the big ones. Huge points for aces and huge deficit for misses. We're underway here. First to the left-hand side for the team in blue. That is Team Hens. That ball is killed out of bounds. Number 19, Maddie Kingdon Rischel.
Well, she's one of the new faces that we're going to see in this season, but she was really impressive in the scrimmages, and every one of these players has shown a little something over those scrimmages that we'll start talking about, but really good start there from Kingdon Michelle.
Short serve from Valentine Anderson. Quick into the middle. Rosenthal is sent immediately back by Emily Thader, another newcomer.
Yeah, she has been a really strong presence at the net in the scrimmages. And again, we only have a couple of days worth of knowledge on these players, but she's going to be a big part of this defense. One of the stronger middle blockers to come into the game.
Thader's been playing professionally in France, won the championship this last year in Paris. Valentine Anderson, right side. She'll go short once again to Drews. Left side, the attack again. This one put just out of bounds. That looked like a little bit of a sticky wicket.
I like the idea of tipping, though. Early on, get the defense moving, keep them on their toes, make sure they're not paying attention to just one thing.
That's Kat Bell, and Team Hens is stuck in rotation 1. And they're going to try and get out of it here. Kat Bell's going to go to the right side. That ball passed over the net. Bell with the dig, but a net violation will negate it. Hot start to Team Valentine Anderson.
Well, she's been on the service line, and you mentioned it earlier. She was one of the top servers last season, and she has a really sort of one of those float serves that just dips and falls in the air. So she's really targeting Danny Drews, making her play.
14 aces with just 14 errors last season. This time working on Drews down the line. Drews, left side, and an unusual unicorn, Danny Drews with that left hand.
Yeah, love to see it as well because we need more of that. I feel as though on the left side, it's always right side hitters, and on the right side, left hand attackers, but I like a little switch up there.
Drews will step back to serve, served as captain multiple times in her first season. She'll go jump float. First look at the offense here out of this rotation. Again, overhead, Kingdon tipping for the line, Hens is there. Both teams scrappy to start. Free ball, Bell handles it, Rosenthal throws it. Good opportunity here for Team Hens. Left side and count it. Claire Hoffman with the kill.
Team Hens has a little bit of work to do already after that 4-0 start off of Valentine Anderson's serve, but going pretty heavy to the pin right now. They haven't utilized a lot through the middle. I'd like to see that just a little bit more.
Danny Drews played her collegiate ball at Utah. Brief stint in Poland, second year in Athletes Unlimited. That ball tipped, easily picked up. Back row, Drews cannot find the court. Collazo blasts it right at Hens. That's never a good idea to hit it right to her. Another nice dig, right hand. And Bell, right side, collects the kill to finish.
Bell much more comfortable on that right side. She is a right side attacker, has played middle as well, so is going to be somebody to watch out for in terms of doing a little bit of everything for this Team Hens.
Team Hens is set by Marley Montserrat. You've already seen her play a lot of defense, number 33 in blue, right back. That ball will be blasted off the block and out of bounds by Genesis Collazo in her second season, originally out of Puerto Rico.
Collazo, one of the top picks in the draft. She went second for Valentine Anderson, and that's a pretty high pick, but had proven herself last season as a very all-around player.
Good touch in the middle, but not enough. Rosenthal will get the kill. Jenna Rosenthal spoke to her right before the match started. Full professional player now.
Yeah, love
18
that.
months working, doing another job. She said, with all the opportunities in America now, I've gone back to being a professional athlete.
And we love that. We love that there are actual opportunities for becoming a full-time pro in the U.S. Didn't used to be.
Yeah, before AU, it was absolutely not possible. Athletes Unlimited started it all. That ball is going to be called down. I don't see any argument. There are 2 captain's challenges per team per set. Has to be called by Morgan, hence the captain. No challenge this time. Valentine Anderson with the quick lead, 6-4. Emily Thader back to serve. 5th all-time in Missouri blocks and block assists. Both middles doing work. Kaz Brown up there now as that ball does fall on the orange side. Oh, just out of bounds. That call goes Valentine Anderson's way.
Yeah, it looks as if the referee was calling the setter over, perhaps, at the net. Tough call.
Hens steps in, bumps set. Hoffman finds the deep corner. Claire Hoffman, if you heard a lot of collegiate volleyball names, you're going to hear them all come back throughout this. A lot of young talent added to the league this season.
Yeah, Claire Hoffman, someone as well who's known in the U.S., hasn't had a whole lot of overseas experience, but that's a great shot right into the corner, no defense there.
Sharp angle, Brown can't quite find it. Kaz Brown made her presence felt last year in AU and on to have a terrific professional season in the PBF. Good pass, left side speed, not enough of a touch. Point Valentine Anderson.
Manfield with a great high swing there. Manfield, one of those players that Valentine Anderson chose specifically for her scrimmage performance.
Collazo, number 2 pick, you mentioned that. That surprised me a little bit. Hit 180 on the season last year, but her team has won a ton.
And Valentine Anderson talks a lot about how she chooses her team. She loves chemistry. She loves players that are going to work well together. Of course, both them Puerto Ricans, so they know each other better than potentially anyone else out there on the court. Great chemistry, great play.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the chemistry develops as there are more and more opportunities for these players to play together. Kingdon Rischel out of the back row, wide right, and all of a sudden we're even at 8.
Just wide, but I like that high, deep swing as well. Not trying to swing straight down. She has a lot of space to work with on the end line.
Ball is tight, low, dangerous play. Good reset. Back row blast is good from Kingdon.
Kingdon, top pick from Valentine Anderson. Familiar with her. Have some history together over the years that we'll hear more about later in the broadcast.
All right, well, you're going to hear a lot about Maddie Kingdon. Rischel, Kingdon Rischel, her married name. You'll see Kingdon on the jersey. Some players choosing to go with all of the hyphens and the letters on each jersey, and some not, as that block is sent home by Brown. Now remember, on a block, one person's going to get it. There's no half blocks for the middles, Key. We're not just giving those away anymore.
That was all Brown. Come on, that was all Brown.
Will go in and give it to someone. Brown certainly celebrated that one. That could be a +12 for her individual points.
She was an impressive blocker last year as well. Certainly someone to keep your eye on.
Bell with a nice swing. That one sent back anyway. The dump is there. Montserrat will collect the kill. That's +12 at the center position.
That's a tricky little move.
+8, pardon me.
Oh, you memorized all the numbers, have you? Yeah, it's important for the setters to be offensive as much as they are defensive.
Backslide. Rejection. Drews and Rosenthal, who got this one, Key?
Let's have a look. I'm giving it all Drews, and she's somebody we know from just a couple of years ago, was one of the best players in the league then, went over, got more experience overseas, came back, and is going to be even stronger.
10-10, we're going to play 3 sets, and we do the score on aggregate. There are team points to be awarded for each set that is won. There's +40 for each of the individual players for a set win, 60 for the overall win, 180 total team points available in any match. This ball will have to go left side, and it is rattled through by Kingdon.
Bit of luck there. Blocks in a good spot, hands are high. But again, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
How about both, Key?
Yeah, I'll take both.
Okay. Tough serve. Overpass. Good block. Drews works her way around it. Soft touch to the middle.
And I think she's going to start to work her way in. You can tell that team, Valentine Anderson, is targeting her. They're making it tough on her, making her pass that first ball. But when she starts to get into her rhythm, she went over and played in Japan last season and is looking as athletic, as dynamic as ever.
Marley Montserrat, 6-foot setter. Played at Florida and UCLA. Played beach at UCLA. That ball blasted middle back dug. A lot of contact at the net, no call. Maddie Kingdon wanted something called, and nothing is called. I think we have a challenge coming. Every player on the court signaled it, so.
Is it a democracy, is it? The challenge system. If my teammates want it, I'll call it.
That seemed like more of a parliamentary system. Everyone was voting for
Yay
the
or
challenge.
Nay. Old school. But you know what? I mean, you'll see this in professional volleyball as well, or international. The coach will look to the entire team for information, especially when it comes to making that challenge. So Valentine Anderson is doing the same thing. She's looking to her team. Hey, am I the only one that saw that, or did you see something too?
So we're looking for a net violation against Team Hentz here. Kingdon jousted at the net with Rosenthal.
Does look like there's something on the way down there. It is the elbow of Rosenthal. It's tough being a middle blocker, you know. You got a lot of room to cover. You got a lot of side to get to.
Now, interestingly enough, there is a green card system. If you watched international volleyball in the last couple of seasons, you've heard and seen the green card where a player, after a challenge is issued, can simply admit that it happened. Play can continue, and they will receive green credit. That is, of course, a sportsmanship thing. But interestingly, Rosenthal has the bands on her arms. She may not have felt that.
Oh, she felt it.
Oh,
no,
okay.
she felt it, yeah.
Why not just admit it? Why not pull a green card right now?
I think you wait until it's actually challenged. You don't get extra points if you ask for a green card before they challenge.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it.
Well, right, but did we have a green card issued there?
I think so.
Successful challenge is what we're told by the officiating crew, as that connection is missed by Rosenthal.
That's karma.
Well, do you put that one on the setter? A setting error is -12, or is that a hitting error?
I like Monserrat using Jenna Rosenthal. If she just made the error, she's just gone into the net, try and get her involved, but it might have been a bit low.
Okay.
From a middles perspective, of course.
All right, setting error it is, according to head scorer Key Michael. Valentine Anderson in transition. Payaso trying to go off the block, can't do it. Shut down once again.
Ooh, who do we give that one to, though? There were 2 bodies, 4 arms completely surrounding the ball there. That's a great block. Excellent finish. I'd give that one to Rosenthal. She was looking strong there.
For those that don't know, 2012 Olympics, Key Michael played middle.
They'll figure it out pretty soon, if not.
I think they already have figured it out. Cat Bell, backslide, some middle chops.
There it is, and that's what I'm talking about when I tell you she's going to be a versatile, kind of all-around player. If she's on that right side, she wants to go with one leg. Look, she has to come all the way in to try and block. Now she's running around a slide. Nobody's there expecting that from an opposite.
2-time champion in the Philippines, Cat Bell, and already had a long professional career. That one just off of her left hand.
Well, along with the middle strengths comes some middle weaknesses, and that's defense.
We've hit the technical timeout here in set 1. Team Valentine Anderson, +2. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Set number 1, match number 1 of 30 on the Athletes Unlimited season. Team Valentine Anderson up 15-13. Let's go to the 3rd member of our crew and check in with her, Samantha Collins.
Opening night, and 44 of these athletes are starting that journey hoping to be number 1 on the final leaderboard, and 23 of those are doing it for the first time. Athletes playing in their very first season with the league. Talking to the player executive committee who consults on league decisions and helps build that roster, they said that setters and the opposite position in particular is going to be really the game changer this season. They said because of the talent that we have, something we might see this season more than ever is utilization of the double sub. They were so excited about how this roster and the talent they brought in for the 2024 season is going to put out an incredible 30 games for this league. Key, I know you've played with and against many of these athletes on the court. Who are your top 5 newcomers that we need to have an eye on this season?
Oh, it's so exciting. There's 23 new players in the league, and a couple of them, as you mentioned, I played against. Actually, these ones, I don't think I have played against any of them, but Maddie Kingdom Rochelle, you've already seen her, but she has a decade of pro experience overseas, spent some time with the USA national team. Cat Bell, I love her versatility. She's a physical player. Also, Jarrett Elliott said she has the ability to be one of the best players in the country when she's at her best. That's fantastic. Marley Monserrat, who we've seen running this offense. And of course, a couple other players. We can talk more about them as this match unfolds.
Lots of new talent. How will they handle the system? How will their value rise or fall across our 5 weeks of play? All of that to be determined. Each team still with their timeouts. Team Valentin Anderson got to the technical timeout first. So look at Nomaris Velez Augusto, affectionately known as Noma. That ball quick into the middle. A little Olay defense has it. High ball just into the net. With our plus and minus system, an attack error is -12, something those newcomers are going to have to get used to.
Yeah, it's so tough because as a player, you don't want to think about those kind of things when you're out there on the court. You just want to play your volleyball. However, you'll be reminded when you look at the stats afterwards.
We'll give you all the specifics, but suffice to say, you cannot win this title without team success. It isn't good enough just that your stats are terrific. Your side has to win as Hoffman goes cross-court for a winner.
And I'm giving that to Marley Monserrat as well. She dishes that ball up again. That first ball, it was out of system. It was coming from a different setter. Ball in the net. Give it to the same player. Get her back in the game. And that's why she's going to be one of my players to keep your eye on throughout the season.
Another point collected by Team Hens. Here they come, tying it up again. They have responded twice in this first set.
As they're going to have to continue doing. That's what this whole, our sport is all about. It's a back and forth, it's a push and pull, but specifically this league, being how fast it is, it's only 3 sets. You don't really have time to warm up into it, and they caught right back up immediately.
There is Kat Bell, 3-time All-American, 2012 national champion back at Texas. It's amazing how fast all these years go by. I remember calling matches involving Kat Bell.
Are you saying you're old?
Yeah, thanks, Key.
You're welcome.
Middle back, Drews. Triple block has it. It looked like the right side of Hennesis Collazo, pardon me.
Yeah, I love that she's one of the players to come back, and I think she's looking even stronger than she was. One little step in there, she's taken away that space. Danny Drews expecting it to be wide open. That's a beautiful play by Collazo.
Collazo to the line. This time it's a tip. Valentin Anderson is a defensive machine. Down the line, and it's a winner. So quick in transition. Allison Mayfield.
And the little dance moves to go with it as well. I love that you're calling out Nachi's defense as well. She's such a well-rounded player, and if you look at her physically, smaller than a lot of the others, almost the height of a libero, but has so many different weapons to bring.
Overhand pass reception, Hoffman swings to the outside. Net violation takes away what was a nice dig by Noma.
Just as I'm hyping up a player, she goes in the net. That's the difficulty when you're a smaller player, is trying to make up for it a little bit, pressing over, but batting her arms just that little bit ends up in a fault.
Hoffman, originally out of Oregon, Pleasant Hill. Collegiate ball at Washington. She's in the middle back, and that ball knifes between her and Hens. Mayfield collects another kill, and she will head back to serve. Number 15, 6'1", now 34 years old, playing outside hitter. Good setup, back slide. Watson is stopped. Kingdon.
The all-round play of somebody like Maddie Kingdon-Michel is what's really going to make her stand apart. She has a little bit of everything, and you look at the pressure over the net there, low and tight. Those arms are really taking away the space.
Drews high over the top. That ball dug out of bounds. We've already seen Maddie Kingdon be quite effective in this match, and it's a little bit of a turn of the tables for facilitator Dave Rubio, legendary coach at Arizona who had Kingdon Reichel on his team for a number of years, an incredible athlete during her time in Tucson.
That's what's so fun about this league, is a lot of the players say the same thing. Hey, I get to play with someone I have idolized my whole career, or has been on the other side. I mean, Morgan Hens talking about some of her players that she had played against throughout her career, now on the same side. Claire Hoffman being one of them. That's so exciting to see.
Right here in the front, number 48, Karis Watson. I asked her, why'd you come back for another season of this league? And she mentioned just that. All the players you get to play with, that she learned so much from all the different styles and experience levels of the players here.
She's also standing right next to one of her best friends of all time, was in her wedding. So, you know, it's also the friendships, also a little bit of the off-court action that the players love. And I can speak from experience, right? Having done it myself, being on the court, yes, the level of volleyball is intense and exciting and amazing. But what's so good is also the best friends that you make and you get to spend time with and really just be your best self.
That's Taylor Bruns-Tegenroot, who is member of the Player Executive Committee. As our captain's challenge is taking a bit of time here. The officials have access to some of their own angles as well as some of our coverage. They have the ability to really hone in on a play and see what the result was. We'll try and give you a look at it here. Ball in or out, block, touch are some of the areas that can be challenged. I don't see any net violation there. I don't see a touch of the ball.
Saw a touch in the backcourt. Does that count?
Did see that. The ball will remain with Team Hens. And it is Taylor Bruns-Tegenroot that checks in, originally out of Normal, Illinois. Backup setter this week. Dig middle back, got just enough of it. Tegenroot sends it over. Left side again, through the block. I think that's going to be 2 touches. Monserrat trying to get away with it. If your first touch is behind Kat Bell and no one can see it, is it really a touch?
If a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it, same argument.
Does it make a noise? Exactly.
Unfortunately, there are quite a few cameras here, and maybe in the forest deep, there aren't.
Maybe in ancient history, when you or I were in college, and there was no review system, you could get away with it. Ace service, plus 12, Kaz Brown.
Did you say when you and I were in college?
I was trying to lump you in with me there, Keith.
Oh, rude.
Sorry you caught it.
So rude. I already had the producer remove my dates from my resume so that nobody knows how old I am.
With that ace service, it's 22-18. Team Valentin Anderson extending the lead. Now remember how we do things here. You're going to get 40 points for the set victory, but the overall is done on aggregate. We're going to add up all the points. It'll be, say, 76-74, 76-67, somewhere in that range for the overall points, for the 60 points that are awarded for the overall win.
Yeah, we love this format. We love how interesting it is, all the wrinkles to this game. So many different ways to, well, play the same game that we love so much.
Let's hear from Natalia Valentin Anderson on being a captain, something she's experienced with.
Something that I've learned throughout the years by being a captain is just create a good group of people. Being a captain is hard, drafting a team, but I think throughout my career, I've been in amazing teams with great talent, but that don't get along and we get nowhere. And then I've been on teams less talented that have a great chemistry and love each other and play for each other, that have made it through the best, seasons. That's where I always go into the captain chair thinking of, let's make a group of people that will play for each other.
So there are 3 players from Puerto Rico on Team Valentin Anderson this week. Perhaps that's a part of it.
Yeah, she also played for the Omaha Supernovas with Allison Mayfield, who's on her team.
Yep.
Emily Thader in the scrimmages last week. And the thing I love about the draft is having Savannah in there to ask questions. So we know that she loves chemistry in her team. That was one of the answers she gave, is she's paying attention to that more so than the skill of the players, or equally so, let's say.
Rest of the weeks, we're going to play on Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Redraft on Tuesday and come back the following weekend with all new teams. Remember, if you are in the top 4, the individual standings in the championship chase at the end of any one weekend, you put yourself in the captain's chair and you will be forced to make decisions for the following week. Danny Drews has been in that position a couple of times, and I would expect to see her above the leaderboard at some point this season.
No doubt. I think you could safely say that with authority, that Danny Drews will be a captain at some point this season. And she was fantastic as a captain when she was here. Leadership, teamwork, all of the skills that are represented by a great player.
4-time captain looking for perhaps a 5th opportunity. Brown, ace last time. Nearly this time. Rosenthal picks it up. Drews. Calling for it. Kingdon And scoring the point at home in Arizona.
Big swing off the block. Again, this is just looking like a really well-rounded Valentina Anderson team. And as much as she talks about chemistry, I mean, she's got some huge guns on her side.
Largest lead of the set, +5. Brown been working into that angle. Drews high off the hands. Kingdon in transition again, this time dug by Hentz. Off the block and down, Team Hentz scores.
I like using Hoffman there in the backcourt. We haven't seen a whole lot of the backcourt action from either team, but I think between Drews and Hoffman, they're two players that's one of their strengths in their all-around game. So more of that to try and throw off the block of Valentina Anderson.
Hoffman coming off a French season in which she was named best outside hitter. Backslide. Was there a touch of the net? Nothing called. Fader with the error. And once again, is there enough time left for another Team Hentz comeback? They're back to within 3. 3 hitters across the front row for Team Hentz. The women in blue. Left side, a little bit tight, tipped over. Drews is there. Right side, Collazo high off the hands. Drews, heater right to the back line.
The Danny Drews specialty right on the line. I mean, the defense is sneaking in because they know how strong she is, and when she gets some power behind it, they don't want to take it in the face. However, that backcourt is the perfect place to put it.
Drews, a football father, a couple of football brothers, one in the NFL still. Very athletic and talented mother, also played volleyball. And the barbecues, this family have to be amazing. Like, how much competition is there happening? Cornhole, horseshoes, whatever.
Well, she knows she rides horses as well, so they may even be playing a bit of polo out there. Maybe going on a little bit of jogging, a little bit of, who knows? Athleticism, you can clearly tell.
Did you just say jogging for competition?
Jogging. It's a soft J.
Oh, man, if you want to get closer to the action, get your free unlimited club membership. You can vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League. You can get exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprovolleyball.com. More on Danny Drews. Let's go to Savannah Collins.
Well, talking to Danny Drews coming into this season, she told me she feels like she's going back to her roots a little bit. What she means by that is, and she was playing with the NEC Red Rockets in Japan, they had her at the opposite position all season. That was very different for her. And she saw how overseas teams rely more heavily on the opposite than they do the outside. It's really the go-to, and for her, it really challenged her as a hitter to take on the pressure of big moments and be that teammate who has to terminate. But on the flip side, because it causes you to take a little bit of a step back in serve receive, she's really been working on getting that back up to par. In fact, at practice yesterday, she stayed an hour after their practice ended with Morgan Hentz, just taking serve receive after serve receive, trying to get that passing back to where she wants it to be this season.
That does sound like a very Japanese approach to play an entire match or an entire practice and then have more practice. The NEC Red Rockets are the 2-time defending Japanese champion. We're going to get our first look at Manami Kojima, the libero for the Japanese national team as well in our second match. She's playing for Team De La Cruz.
And they actually played together, as you mentioned, so that I love that message there from Savannah, and I love we have her getting this kind of information because as we talked about, lefty on the outside, unusual, not a position that you're normally going to see, so they take her and put her on the right side where you're often seeing that left-hand hitter, but so important to take those reps if you haven't had them in a while in the serve receive. Natty Valentina Anderson also targeting her in the serve receive. They might know that. They might know what they're looking for.
They will feed the foreigner when you're playing in that Japanese V-League.
Oh, yeah.
Japan on the men's side coming off of perhaps their best Olympic performance in 4 to 5 generations, going back to the 1960s and 70s. Can Team Hentz come back once again? That service puts more pressure on Valentina Anderson. Tip, Kat Bell pops it up. Hoffman back row chips it. Another tip down the middle. A flying Hens picks it up. Kingdon going high, flat, and winning.
The first, but not the last, of a dig by Hens that looks as if she's just sprung herself off of a trampoline to get it.
Set point number 1 for Team Valentin Anderson. Down the line on Drews, tough pass. Right back to her, and it's stopped for the winner. Collazo closes set 1.
Collazo gonna take a big role, I think, in this season. Kind of warmed her way up into it last season, started getting more big positions on teams, and now, after what we've seen today, I think she's gonna be one of the stars.
So 40 points goes to Team Valentin Anderson. That goes to each individual player's score for that victory, capped off by this block. Team Hens and Team Valentin Anderson opening season 4 of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. 25-21, the victory by Team Valentin Anderson, who weather a couple of good runs from Team Hens. Maddie Kingdon at home in Arizona, looking quite at home. 8 kills on 14 attempts. Key Michael.
I mean, that's a big number in one set alone. So we knew that she was going to be strong. We saw her with 12 and 9 points respectively over the weekend. She led her team. She was the captain of her teams in the scrimmages. But this is what she's bringing to the court. A lot of firepower on the right side, outside, from the back court. I mean, she's going for high hand. She's going for deep court. And the players on the other side know she's going to get it, cannot stop her. I mean, those are Betty De La Cruz kind of numbers.
Drafted 3rd in this first season in Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. Player that's been in and out of the USA gym, been in the USA lineup for consequential matches in VNL. This is someone who has tremendous international experience.
And that's another reason why I think she's going to excel in this league. Having that experience, knowing how to be not only versatile, but adapt, and have helped USA win some medals in the VNL. She is the kind of player that will know how to get things done, know how to score for her team. Having played in a lot of different leagues overseas as well, she's got that's something special that makes you successful in Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, check that. 6 kills in the first set. Still a monster number for Team Valentin Anderson. All right, if your team drews and you're forced to respond here, you had a couple of good runs. How do you recapture perhaps a little more consistency here in the second set?
Well, they came a little bit slow out of the gate. I think they caught up, were putting some pressure back on the other team, but I think it's just starting strong from the very first point. Of course, it's game day number 1. It's the first time that the players are out there, the cameras, the lights, the crowd, getting to know your teammates, but just not letting that string of points happen so early.
All right, remember how our leaderboard works. You have all the individual points. Service ace 12, block plus 12. We saw a number in that first set. Kingdon picking up one of those. Team points for the victory, 40 for each set, 60 for the overall. So we'll have 100 points at stake when we get to that third set. For the overall win, 60 points, and for that set, 40 points. And usually it's about 60%-ish your team points counting more than your individual points in the overall. As we look at our quick stats, anything standing out for you, Key?
Interestingly, the blocks of Team Hens. So I think that had a little bit to do with the run they made there in the middle, trying to catch back up. 1 ace apiece, but you saw that strong serving from Valentin Anderson in the beginning that was really putting Team Hens kind of on the back foot, and they weren't able to get their offense going and in system. It all starts with that really tough serve from both sides.
All right, we have 2 things for you to watch as we start our second set. If you're brand new to Athletes Unlimited, there is the score in the set. We're going to keep track to 25, win by 2, as we always do. The first side out goes to Emily Thader. We're also going to start to keep track of the overall points, which now with that side out, it'll be 26-21, Team Valentin Anderson. That'll be for the overall victory. And you might ask yourself, what happens if they're tied at the end of 3 sets? We go to a golden set. It's only happened a couple of times.
I was asking myself that. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm here for you, Key. That's what a partnership is all about. Right side, Kat Bell working off the block and out of bounds or into the net. That, in fact, was off the hands of Team Valentina Anderson.
So already a better start than in set number 1. Team Hens not allowing Valentina Anderson to go on that run there. Neck and neck. I think we might see a much more even, balanced match going forward.
Nati to Hennesis. Dug up. Right side Kingdon, no approach. Pops back from the block and down. How about a lead? Is that a better start?
That's a great start.
Okay.
And I was watching that set from Valentina Anderson. That was beautiful, basically on the floor, still trying to put up a hittable ball. Unlucky it came off the block, kind of high, could have been covered. But a good work by the blue side.
Low pass overhead this time to Kingdon, and she will go full ice cream cone service over the top.
Delicious. Melting, dripping straight onto the other side. I mean, that's the value of a player that's had a lot of experience, right? She got blocked once. What's she doing the next time? Tipping.
It would melt immediately onto your hands and be a sticky mess if you were in Miami, wouldn't it?
Or if you're in Arizona.
Or if you're in Arizona.
It is hot.
Yes, same problem both places. I prefer the ice cream to be cold, not a mess. Kingdon overpass, and that will be a back row violation against Team Hens.
Another perfect example of the strong serve being so important. An overpass, the server doesn't get credit for that. The blocker does.
Short serve this time. Into the middle, Karis Watson collects.
Whew. That's a beautiful slice. Watson is someone who took a little while to heat up last year. Didn't get that much playing time in the beginning. As soon as she did, and you realize this from her personality, her energy, her smile, her vibes, she is a fantastic teammate, and I love to see her getting points.
Drafted at number 18, the Tiger, formerly of Clemson, and there's another block she's participating in.
And another perfect example of the energy, right? And sometimes, and Nati touched on it as well, the chemistry of a team, the people that are on your side, just lifting each other up. If she didn't get the block, she's cheering twice as loud for her teammate.
Bad pass. Pretty good set out of it. Hens perfect dig, right side. Bell off the block and down. 5-3 and 28-26 the other direction. Valentina Anderson still +2 in the overall, but trailing by 2 in the second set.
I'll have you keep score of that then.
Okay.
You keep those stats. You're just keeping that mental math.
Perfect pass.
Oh.
Better dig. Bell trying to hit her way out. That almost could have been a direct on 2. Oh, instead it's another block. Karis Watson is piling up some points.
Patrolling the net is Karis Watson. And you got to feel that momentum shifting, right? Team Hens, as we mentioned, very calm, very cool, very collected captain. And you're seeing that from her teammates as well. Didn't get riled up after that first set, didn't go their way.
That was a 4-point run that ends with that service error.
Second error, I believe, from Kat Bell in the serve.
6'3". Emily Thader, middle blocker, back to serve. She'll play left back defense and bump set this ball. Is that in the skill set of most middles there, Key?
Bump set?
Yeah.
You know, we don't like to use our forearms in any capacity, I'm not going to lie, unless it's to block.
Okay, fair enough. That ball falls in front of Thader. She will go to the sidelines, replaced by Namaris Velez-Agosto. That'll send Claire Hoffman back to the line. Tough serve, perfect pass, tipped over the top by Brown.
I spoke to Kaz Brown before the match today, and she said she's had a little bit of time off, went to Europe, spent some time not being a volleyball player for once because she finally had a chance to travel while in Europe and be a tourist. And she said it's just so good to be back on the court, though.
Interesting idea. Did she do a tour of gymnasiums like she's used to in Europe, or maybe something different? Backslide, hit wide right. A rare error from Karis Watson.
Kaz Brown told me she went to Amsterdam, she went to Prague, she went to Stockholm, just to enjoy.
She's hitting all the highlights
all the
right
spots,
there.
yeah. And now back here in beautiful Arizona.
That sounds like a Key and Cami tour of Europe over there. Just you and all the best pictures.
Hey, I'm down for it.
Drews, good overhand pass, right back to Watson, and you love a repeat setter.
I love a repeat set. I love a set to the middle, and I love Karis Watson. There's just the three-peat there. Everything about that play was beautiful.
I wish we still had the heart emojis we could just blast all over the screen right now. You'd have been doing that right there, Key.
All the heart emojis for Karis Watson.
Kingdon, good pass. Outside, smooth looking play. Dug up. Watson with the defense. Kingdon, dig. Both sides playing their spots, but it's Kat Bell who's heating up.
Yeah, we called her out as one of the players to keep an eye on. I think she's so physical. And when she gets the ball that she wants and needs, it is really powerful, really tough to slow down. We see a couple of errors here and there. Again, started out as a middle, so those things are maybe not ingrained in her, but a good swing on that right side.
Kat Bell hitting 420. A little lefty action there from the not left-handed Hoffman. Tip punched up, Hoffman underneath. Valentine Anderson read that one. Self-cover, touch, this will be second contact. Block defense was the call, and that ball's well out of bounds. Valentine Anderson picks up the point. They come within 2 here. And again, we're in a situation where Team Valentine Anderson trails by 2 in the set, leads by 2 in the overall, 32-30.
They played such a clean first set. Now just starting to work through a couple of things.
Well, I think you nailed it with the service pressure they were putting on.
Yeah, for sure.
Opportunity to convert. Kingdon was in that first set, and she does again here in the second.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more balls continue to go to Kingdon Rochelle. She knows how to get out of trouble. She knows how to score for her team. She's got all the weapons that you want in a high-level player.
She and Hoffman both playing for Pac-12 teams, both in those record books. Bell over the top looking for a touch, immediately petitioning for a challenge, nothing called. And there is the captain's challenge. Morgan Hentz stepping in. And we'll have another challenge.
I just wonder if that was a bit too hasty of a call. It was a really high swing from where I was sitting. I wasn't sure that I saw a fingertip move there either. And I think it was just over the top of the block and out of bounds. A good high swing, right? That's what you want to see out of your opposites. Don't think I see any fingers moving.
It's interesting, since the challenge system has come around in the last decade or so, the relationship between the players and the coach. The coach has to learn who to trust, or in this case, the captain has to learn who to trust when it comes to proposing a challenge. You get 2 challenges per team, per set. You don't carry them forward. And these are the things that you can review. Ball in or out, block touch, all manner of line faults, net touch, as well as ball up and down.
Yeah, and you're exactly right there. You have to be honest nowadays. Gone are the days when you could just act your way out of it and convince everyone in the stadium that you didn't touch it. Now the cameras are everywhere.
Key, your eyes are sharp, no touch there, even
you go.
upon review. Captain's challenge utilized and lost by Team Hentz. They'll come right back, and it's just a blast from Danny Drews.
We've seen a couple of tips out of her now, but her bread and butter is to swing hard at the hands. I mean, she's powerful. You can see it in her physique. She works hard in the gym, and she takes it out on the ball.
Punishing that Baden, that specially designed Athletes Unlimited Baden ball. Very interesting. Players like it. It feels to me a lot like the old Pro Touch balls that the men's game used to play with collegiately up into the early 2000s. Not quite as heavy, but it's definitely heavier than a Baden ball that I remember.
Did you grab it? Did you play with it?
I hit it a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, I punished it a couple times.
Yeah, there's always a discussion about which ball has different floating, different strengths.
Well, particularly on the collegiate level, because everyone plays with their own ball. As that one finds the bottom of the tape, that's going to go down as a setting error. Collegiately, everyone plays with their own volleyball, which makes 0 sense.
Same thing overseas. Different league, different countries will choose a different ball.
Yeah, but you don't play one German league match with one ball and another German league match with another ball.
Gotcha.
That's what goes on in the NCAA.
Champions League, maybe have 2 different.
Champions League, yes.
Yes.
Molten Mikasa War there years ago.
I don't think as a middle, I really paid much attention to it, to be honest. I think the passers are the only ones that really have anything to say about it. Maybe the setters, too.
People who utilize their forearms.
Exactly. Those darn forearms.
We also high blast dug by Drews. Decent set. All the options. Ball's tight. Trying to go hands out, could not, was Hoffman. Bell, she's been hot, hence with the dig. What a coverage. It is hard to get a kill in Mesa. Finally, Kingdon pulls it.
We're going to keep calling her name, but this point in particular, you got to call out the whole team, right? That is not a one-person show winning that point. The defense, the hustle, the scrappiness on both sides, really, not just one side, made that point extra special.
And those players making coverages, making plays in between digs will be rewarded with points. Each time you make a dig, +5. Each time you get a kill, it's +8. Jenna Rosenthal +8 to her own score there. Those are the individual points.
Jenna Rosenthal struggling a little bit with her knee, so she's wearing a device that makes sure she doesn't get too many jumps in training. She's said, I'm getting a little bit older. I want to make sure that I keep and save my jumps for game day.
After a back and forth first set, we've had 7 ties in this second. That ball looked like it was definitely touched.
Okay, might have a challenge. Valentina Anderson wants to look at it. She might have heard you. We're sitting a little closer to the players this year.
We are courtside here for all of the matches.
It's interesting after the draft hearing Nachi say, it's so hard picking your team, being as a setter in this orange jersey, because you get a really sort of an interesting in-between choices, but it wasn't difficult for her to call that challenge immediately.
Come on out and visit us at the Arizona Athletic Grounds this season. We're going to be in action this weekend, as well as the following 4 weekends, all the way up to championship weekend, where we'll crown our 4th title holder in this individual championship chase that is Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. Natalia Valentina Anderson finished runner-up 2 seasons ago. Quite a performance from the setting spot. You mentioned her defense adding points, her service adding points, her wins adding points. All right, Captain's Challenge ongoing. Let's get down to Savannah again.
Well, talking to Morgan Hinch, she was telling me that looking at the scout going up against this orange squad, she knew that this is an experienced and veteran team. And because of that, they really had that never say die attitude. For her squad, she knew that they would have to push them out of system, that the serve pass for her squad was going to be key in order to keep these sets in this game competitive and balanced, like we've seen coming into this second set compared to them falling in the first. But there's something she said that I think is really playing here, is that she loves that this group is just a team of positive attitude. She said it makes it so much easier to connect and be able to make adjustments, and using that as a strength has been key for Team Hinch this match.
Yeah, strength that has produced a 1-point lead.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Savannah. She looks for good energy, good vibes. She asked everyone in the Zoom call, who do you gel with?
What a delivery on the outside. Cat Bell with the save. That doesn't end up being a kill. It's too bad. That does. Perfectly done. Setter to middle hitter.
Big one. Big swing. Let's have another look at that.
Fader proving her draft stock.
You're exactly right. Free ball coming in. You knew it should go to the middle. Valentina Anderson. Bickenthaler as 5th.
A pair of pancakes trying to be served up, but nowhere near the actual ball that time. Tip is good.
As expected, kind of neck and neck, these two teams. No one pulling ahead just yet, but we've seen service pressure on both sides.
Well, Team Hens is going to make a move to try and pull ahead. They're going to go double sub. Sheridan Atkinson returns for her 2nd season. Last saw her in 21. And Taylor Bruns Tegenrud, who we saw serve in set 1, goes back again to the service line. This time she will set. Immediately into transition. Hoffman bump set, Drews. Loyaso high off the block, she gets it back. Watson with a lot of good touches in this match. A lot of control blocks. An absolute blast, a touch called, and a point for Valentine Anderson.
A lot of good touches on both sides. Called out Watson there, making a good move in the direction of the attacker, but again, the blocker's doing a lot of work to slow down that first contact, so it's not necessarily a stat that we call out a lot, the block touches, but it makes it so much easier for the defense to work around when the ball's just coming a little slower.
14 apiece, set number 2. Ball set over, that was clever. Veteran savvy?
Sailor, cheeky, cheeky, she saw that so early.
It's all about the right play call if you're the setter, and sometimes you call your own number. Taylor Bruns Tegenrud pulling the 17. Second set action, overall lead still held by Team Valentine Anderson, 39-36. Gives us a chance to go into the game with the U.S. Air Force.
So next is me? Me?
Yes.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, hey! Go! Yes! Nice go! Let's go! Here we go! Nice set, nice job. Go, go, push it! Yes! Nice job! Great swing! Nice set! Nice, nice set. Claire, nice job. Nice defense, Claire. Nice defense. Let's go.
Danny Drew is having a lot of fun out there. She was Morgan Hens's first pick because she said, I want power and I want stable in the passing lineup. And Danny Drews has had 22 receptions so far. How many errors do you think she's had, Kevin?
0.
That's correct.
All right, we'll see if her hitting can come along too. 5 kills on 20 swings, hitting .05 at the moment. Uncharacteristic for the 6-footer out of Sandy, Utah.
Yeah, I think she's certainly going to step it up, but I like that Hens relies on her, utilizes her, knew that she was going to need, as a libero, she was talking specifically about the reception. I want someone standing beside me that I know I can trust. A lot of pressure on her, a lot of pressure in the reception.
Valentina Anderson with good reception that time. Karis Watson ahead in both, but cannot get the kill off of the block. Hoffman will collect the points.
Tying it up again, these two teams. No one's really getting a foothold here.
All right, look at our total score there, 40-36 for that all-important 60 team points. Sheridan Atkinson for a swing for her is a stuff by Team Valentina Anderson. I think that was Hoffman that grabbed it.
Yeah, good block there by the orange side. I think Atkinson would love a little higher ball, maybe a little further off the net. She can go over the block. They will have played together as well. Atkinson here a couple of years ago. Taylor Brunn's taken around here all 4 years.
Has to be one or the other. You're either over or it's back row. And in this case, they're going to call over against Kaz Brown. Tong Wynn's going to get an earful here.
Valentina Anderson a little confused on the call as well.
I would like a player swing at that ball rather than redirect it with a block move to really prove that it's on your side.
Especially if the setter's backcourt. That's the time to swing, and Taylor Brunn's taking road is backcourt.
Ball never lies is what the women in the orange jerseys are saying. Ball served out of bounds. And look who has the lead here in the second set. Valentina Anderson took it at 16-15. Now 17-16. Drews, good pass. Swing to the outside, blocked. And successfully put to the ground. Natalia Valentina Anderson, I think, is going to rack that one up. At least the celebration said so.
And again, we talk a lot about her being a fiery, feisty, scrappy kind of player. She is over celebrating. She is excited just to be out there on court, and even more so when she's getting a front court point.
Into the middle, Rosenthal with the kill.
That's a good choice to use the middle there and pushing it a little bit to that side of the net again. Nati Valentina Anderson, yes, is going to get touches on blocks, but will also be seen as a weak point in the front court. And the size difference between Rosenthal and Valentina Anderson, that's going to be the advantage all day, Rosenthal.
Little dueling middles action. This one back to the pin. And no one can get the second contact point. Team heads.
Miscommunication there. I think Noma Velez Augusto waiting for Kingdom Rochelle to get it. Kingdom Rochelle waiting for Velez Augusto. That's a lot of names to say, by the way. A lot of hyphenated. I think Kingdom Rochelle, she was in front. Just a couple of steps and it's hers.
Good pass by Kingdon, who tips it into the block. This time covered. I wonder how those connections in the middle are going to develop. We've seen a number of tips. Left side, high. Good opportunity and converted. Kingdon.
That's such a nice set. We're sitting right behind Nati Valentina Anderson, and we can see the ball leave her hands without a single piece of spin on it. Just flat out to the outside. That's exactly the kind of ball Kingdom Rochelle wants to swing at.
Pure skill on display. Drew's trying to power it through, cannot yet. Bell, left side. Well, you mentioned her ability to hit a backslide, which she did, a la middle hitter. She's hit it on the right, playing the opposite position this time. A kill on the left to tie us at 19.
Yeah, versatility, that's going to be the name of her game. But she's been a little quiet in the last few points. We haven't seen a whole lot of her. I think Hens is going to need to rely on her.
Well, yeah, Bell returning as part of that double sub that they employed over there on the Team Hens side. Block, Rosenthal next to Bell. This time the other way. Rosenthal can't quite get there, it's through the middle. Kingdon blast and stuck again by Hens. Don't hit near for number 46. Back row, ball is long. No touch, no call. Point for the women in blue.
And you make a good point about not seeing a lot of Bell because she was off the court. I like them using that double sub. I like keeping the setter in the back court. 3 attackers across the front. The height stays there as well. Good utilization.
Trying for a high flat, looking for a touch once again, no call. 21-19, is it timeout time for Valentine Anderson?
I think we could see it here pretty soon. That's a couple of attempts in a row. And in fact, looking over at the bench is Valentine Anderson saying, should we not? Should we give it a minute? Oh, the old shoe tie trick, okay.
Emily Thader out there.
Veteran move.
Smartly done. 6'3" middle blocker. Now she's been crushing the ball on a perfect pass. Do you go Thader?
I love that call out. Absolutely, if it's a good pass, there it is. Flick it behind. Evan, do you have a magic 8 ball somewhere that we can't see?
I'm gonna start with the next play in volleyball, then I'm gonna predict the end of the world. You can follow along on Instagram if you like.
That escalated quickly. As long as it's not happening anytime soon, we're fine.
Valentine Anderson looking for the comeback win here in the second. Of course, those 40 set points loom large every single time. And right now, Team Hens holds that 2-point lead, that ad where they can side their way out of the set.
You're exactly right. They just have to keep serving, keep the ball in play, force the other side to try and work their way back in.
Already 40 team points collected by Team Valentine Anderson, 25-21 in the first. It's been a much steadier second set for Rosenthal and Team Hens. Right side, double sub, we can do that too. Or just put in another opposite with a heavy arm. Willow Johnson loses that battle to Karis Watson, who continues her exceptional open to the season. Watson now 6 of 10. And now it's timeout time.
Yeah, big play there by Watson, but I like the call out as well, getting Willow Johnson into the mix. I think Karis Watson had her eyes all over it.
Timeout called, and that gives us a chance to let you know that the AU Pro Sports Shop is now on Instagram. It's the best way to stay up to date on new arrivals, limited edition items, and our exclusive merch offerings. Head on over to AU Pro Shop and follow to connect with the league and connect with all the new merch that's out there.
We had a bit of fun with the merch last year, didn't we? I think I remember specifically someone wearing a gold jersey.
Yes, yes, I wanted to be on the #1 team. I'm not sure I was the gold captain.
You can be drafted again this year if you play your cards right.
Sign me up, back row only.
All right, I'll go forearms only.
Okay. Yeah, not known for my passing in my day, but we will go for that. That's fine. All right.
Your day wasn't that long ago.
What do you go for here if you're Team Valentine Anderson? That's going to be the question. Let's go to Savannah with more on Team Hens for the moment as they lead by 3.
Well, I can tell you what they're looking for right now. Morgan Hens pulled her huddle together and said, hey, they are frustrated, but we are coming together. Right here, let's be crafty. Let's play a balanced last couple points to try and close out this set. And more than anything, let's work those corners too and focus in, trying to pull away with a win here.
Trying to pull away with those 40 set points as well. Dave Rubio, Captain Morgan Hens.
Balance. Team Hens always talking about balance, keeping things not tipping too far in one direction. Of course, libero herself shows she sees the entire court. She's not focused just on who's hitting, just on who's defending, where the set is going. She's seeing a little bit of everything. But I love that she's telling her team, hey, just stay calm, work high on those corners, on your swings, just some really basic things from the captain.
Team Valentine Anderson -3 here in this second set. Willow Johnson in at opposite. Got a couple of sets right away. Number 44, right in the middle of your screen in orange. This time into the middle. Fader left hand, same result.
I want to see more of Fader. She's new this year, and I know she had a good scrimmage, and I know that's why Valentina Anderson chose her to work with. But I think she could do more. I love her being smart there with that tip, knows the blocks in front of her. I'm excited to see her this season.
She's 4 of 5. I think rightly so. You'd want to see more of her. Bell inside the block, off the hands, and down. Set point opportunity for Hens.
Well, that's someone we continue to see more of. Kat Bell, she will take a little breather now, though, as that double sub again, which worked out really well for this team so far. Why not do it again?
Well, if they were to go overtime in a round, you would have to leave the double sub in now. Just 6 substitutions, the international rules in effect. Johnson had that ball left there. Opportunity to convert here. Free ball coming. Where do you go? All of the options. Johnson into the block high. Back row. Winner from Kingdon. 2 of the Arizona natives taking swings there for Team Valentina Anderson. Second set point for Team Hens. Atkinson on the left. Karis Watson in the middle. Right side will be Claire Hoffman. Rotation 1. Into serve, Gabby Blossom. Overhead, and just enough. Claire Hoffman got just enough of that ball to put away set number 2, 25-22. How do you respond to adversity? That's always the question. Team Hens went plus 40 in the second. All important team points being won in the first and the second set. 40 for Team Valentina Anderson in the first, 40 in the second for Team Hens. It is just a 1-point overall as we head to our 100-point and deciding third set. Team Valentina Anderson carrying that 47-46 lead. So we're going to go all the way to the end of this set to decide who wins the overalls. Young fans enjoying their time here at the Arizona Athletic Grounds. And Karis Watson, you mentioned her getting in last year, making an impact. She's not waiting in this 4th season.
No, and her teammates know what she can do now, and that's why she's getting this role. Look at the way she plays. The athleticism coming out. She's cutting some shots that are just impossible to defend. I mean, jumping up, especially in that point right there, being available even when it looks improbable to get the ball, that's what makes a good middle. And I'll talk for days about it, but middles have to always be available. They have to be ready to swing when nobody expects that ball to go to them. That's when you're going to see them get those numbers and really build into a good, strong start.
So we've had one set go one direction, the other set go almost exactly the other direction. Our overall match stats, a couple of big movers here. I see you key right away, perking up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the blocks. I think it was the opposite direction. Last time it was Team Hens who had a huge amount of blocks, and now it's Valentina Anderson that's kind of crept back in there in that stat. I mean, there's very little between any of the other stats. I mean, an ace apiece, the kills are pretty much on par. Even the points, as you mentioned, you've been keeping that mental math going, 46-47, but the blocks making a big difference.
All right, we're glad you're here with us on Volleyball TV and Valley Sport. Be sure and follow AU Pro Volleyball on Instagram to see our exclusive content featuring your favorite AU players, including the highlights, mic'd up behind-the-scenes action, and more. We'll be throughout the season here on Valley Live. And let's check in with Savannah. She's wandering around, getting us great content inside our stadium.
Well, hey, keep an eye out for this adjustment that Team Valentina Anderson is making going into this set. They're starting Willow Johnson for Genesis Collazo. They felt like Willow Johnson was the steal of the draft. She was still on the board in the 6th round, and they said, look, we know Team Hens still has not picked up an opposite, and we're taking her right here and now. They feel like she is an invaluable option. You can't even call her a number 2 because of how dominant she is. So they're putting her in, just trying to mix some things up. Maybe it'll lead to more offensive production for them. And they're hoping just being able to change up who they're seeing will also free up the middles
to be able to get in this game a little bit more and pull away to win the full game by picking up this third set.
Thanks, Savannah. Third season now for Willow Johnson. Had an injury-shortened first season, but last year came back strong.
Yeah, she was so fun to watch last year, one of the best opposites out there. And it's so interesting what Savannah says about her being scooped up there when she was still on the board. Thomas Robson talking to us a little bit about that before the match started. But interestingly, I think Kat Bell, who was grabbed right after her, has been having a phenomenal spot. So even if Hentz was going to choose either of those two, she would have had a great choice to make. Tough choice.
Johnson averaged 4 kills a set last season. Tough serve starts us off with Valentin Anderson. And there is the hard swinging 44. Ball popped up in the middle. Good coverage from Team Hentz. Morgan with the set this time. Both liberos picking up some digs. Oh, that time the block. Winning out. Hoffman alongside Rosenthal.
I just want to go back to that point about the two opposites there. I spoke to Savannah, and maybe you want to weigh in on this a little bit, but there aren't a lot of teams that play offense when it comes to the draft, and they're more relying on who do they want to pick for their own team rather than looking at what the other teams are picking and then playing that sort of, you know, taking a spot away from somebody else.
A service issued as you look at our leaderboard starting to take shape. Valentin Anderson with a bunch of players individually up there. Hoffman with that +12. You see her live jump right up into the mix there in the number 3 spot. Actually, I have to go back and correct that. That was Rosenthal from the service line. Blast right side. And those in Arizona become very familiar with Maddie Kingdon-Rischel. Her days as a junior player in Arizona and then follow on to a career in Tucson. You'll drive east and past the airline graveyard, and then you'll find Tucson.
Oh.
Watson high over the top.
Airline graveyard is up there with one of the wonders of the world.
Yes, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and the airline graveyard of Arizona.
I'll be sure to check it out before I leave then.
Yes, maybe Archimedes' death ray as well.
Oh gosh.
If you're into early mirror work.
I'm sure 95% of our audience is.
Watson misses that one around the side of the ball. Keep an eye on that total score. That's where it's really going to shape up in this set. Whoever wins this set is going to win the overall. This is a 100-point set here in the third. A true 100 points available for every player's score should they win this set and win the match.
I'm glad we've got a visual of that now, because I certainly wasn't keeping it in my head.
Tough run, and it's another ace, this time issued the other way. The tough serving has returned for Team Valentin Anderson.
That was part of their strength in that first set. That was really what set them apart between these two teams. You saw it a little bit from Valentin Anderson. Now we're seeing it from some of her other players. So important in this game that we love, called volleyball.
More tough service. Drew's trying to negate it. Valentin Anderson with the dig. Oh, what a set. It cannot be finished, but that was a nice overhead bump.
Yeah, great heads-up play there from Willow Johnson, popping it all the way to the other side of the court.
You were talking about the value in draft. Team Hentz, interestingly enough, with their first and second pick, went for outside hitters. Danny Drews to Claire Hoffman. I wonder how much that says as that ball is missed long. It says about the sport of women's volleyball and where it's headed overall.
Well, that first contact is so important. We talk about the strength from the service line. It's getting higher and higher and stronger and stronger. We're seeing lots more jump servers, and the float serves are even becoming more impactful. So Hentz, as a libero herself, knows how important it is to have two very strong passers next to her.
Hentz with a dig down the line. That's skill on skill right there, digging Johnson. Middle back, one-on-one, winner Kingdon.
Count it. All over the court. We've seen a little bit of everything from Kingdon-Rischel today. She's really putting those talents on display, and she sees the block. It's a one-on-one. Watson leaning in that direction anyway, but just not enough.
First round pick in the scrimmage hit 120, did Kingdon-Rischel, but I don't think anyone really was fooled by that.
Well, there might be a few nerves, and it's still getting used to each other in this format is so unusual for these players to have 1 week of training with a group and then to go out there and play. Players are used to spending an entire season or a preseason that's a couple months long.
Set over, picked up. Valentina Anderson immediately upset with herself. Rosenthal handles a free ball. Kat Bell can't get a swing. More good defense, this time from Johnson. Oh, Bell, beautiful hands.
Whoa.
It is impossible to get a kill in Mesa. The defense just too good until the off-speed from Mayfield. What a rally. Key, breathe, breathe, exhale.
I know, I feel like I'm a player again just watching that. I think I was holding my breath the entire time because, as you mentioned, the defense has been incredible in that play alone. Taking almost a minute to score a point, that is so unusual, but it just goes to show what the level is here. Continues to grow.
And piling up +5 for every one of those hard-driven balls. That ball might have been right on the line. Backspin is not a good thing in the sport of volleyball. No touch called. I didn't see a touch. It was coming right at us. Key, what'd you think?
Tough to call because it had an awkward spin on it. So maybe there was a little bit of a finger at the net. Kat Bell also stuck an arm out. So potentially, yes. Not sure who it would have been on though. Ooh. Tough to tell. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm gonna go with no, unless it's in the back row, but we have not had back row touches reviewed. Almost an identical swing. Ring it up, do it again, says Jenna Rosenthal.
And the question for me is, does Kaz Brown have that ball a little bit low? Usually when you see a backspin from a middle attack, it means that ball's catching her almost at her elbow and she can't get on top of it and snap it down. Conversation she needs to have with Valentina Anderson.
This time, high left. Hens with the dig to extend the rally. Hens with a second dig. That's 10 points already in the rally for Morgan. How about 15? Not yet. Another backslide. This one's in the antenna. 3 errors in a row for Kaz Brown, and that can sink your individual points.
I'm sure she's not thinking about the points right now, but I like that Valentina Anderson puts her hand right on her teammate, says, don't worry, we got this.
That is -36 for Kaz Brown.
Quick math.
That hurts. Perhaps more importantly, her team now down in the overall. 54-53. Ripped inside the block, finally Kingdon, and we're gonna be tied in the overall here at 54.
Is there anything Kingdon Michelle can't do?
No, she was that kind of player in college as well.
Yeah. And then just spending years overseas, improving year by year. She can face pretty much anything. She's gonna adapt. Have high hopes for her in this season.
Yeah, 6 feet tall, not the tallest outside hitter, but plays much bigger than that.
Yeah.
And she was one of those early hitters in the women's game who could effectively attack that bick out of the middle back with regularity. They were setting it a lot at Arizona. She was on the bleeding edge of that as that kind of ported over from the men's game.
She likes a fastball as well, and that's exactly what Valentina Anderson is going to want to do with her entire team, is give that speed.
Good high reach from Willow Johnson results in a kill.
Into the scoreboard. Make sure no lights are out up there on the board.
Yeah, Willow Johnson collects just her first kill, but I feel like she's been taking a lot of quality swings.
Yeah, she often does. Makes good decisions, but always goes with full power.
1 for 5 so far for number 44. Overpass. Kingdon. Do not feed the Kingdon.
She's getting set by everybody on court. Out of system from her own team, in system, the other side of the net. But what I love about that play is she takes a step back. She doesn't just swing blindly at the ball, which you'll sometimes get a little bit sped up. She takes her time, takes a step back, Gives herself plenty of space to swing.
And gives her team the 56-55 lead. Hence dives under that one, sacrificing her body for the point.
That's the Hens special, that popping it off the floor, body basically off the ground without touching anywhere on the ground as she plays the ball and then catches herself.
I wonder who's logged the most airtime, Morgan Hens or Sarah Sponsel, another fantastic Arizona volleyball player. Known for the scorpion on the beach. That would be when you dive and dig a ball and your feet touch the back of your ponytail. It's not good for the L1.
I don't have that kind of flexibility. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's never been a moment in my career where my feet have touched
Never
my
seen such a
ponytail.
thing.
Nope.
All right, King to the service line. Maybe she can pile up some points here for her side. Tied at 10 in this set. 57-56 in the overall. Ball is too tight. Johnson, another ripper. Oh, and just enough of it. Just enough of it from Allison Mayfield to find the side of the court.
See, that's a perfect example. For me, that's a little bit lucky, right? She's jumping out of timing. That ball's popping in her direction, and rather than waiting, backing up, just has a swing early.
Bell inside the block and down. French fries on the board here in the third.
When you say French fries, is that 11?
Yes.
All right, I'm just
11.
learning. I'm learning to speak Kevin day by
It's a
day.
difficult language.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes there's Cyrillic letters involved.
Okay, there's food as well. So we've
Yes.
covered ice cream, we've covered French fries. By the way, great combination, salty and sweet.
Really? Okay, mayo or ketchup?
Mix them together. I'm British. Come on now.
Yeah, too much time in Europe for you. Outside, into the block, just inside. Mayfield with another point for her side and 8 more for her individual score. I still can't do mayo on fries. Can't do it. 8 kills for Mayfield.
And we're kind of halfway through that third set. Reminder, if you're new to this game, there are no 4th, 5th sets. So it's now or never, whichever team can kind of run to the end, make that little bit of that last push at the business end. So important.
Tough serve from Fader. Doesn't matter. Side out, first ball side out for Team Hens. Lots of smiles here on night number 1, match number 1. Our second match will feature Team Nunaviller. That's Brooke Nunaviller, who starred at Oregon, taking on Team De La Cruz. Betania De La Cruz Mahia, multiple-time Olympian, coming off an appearance in Paris, and a champion formerly here at Athletes Unlimited. Right side, Bell, who has been hot, streaks that one with a little too much fire.
Some discussion between her teammates as well, whether there was a touch, no touch. She herself saying, nope, that ball's out. Good call. I think that was as well.
13 apiece. 60-59 is the score you want to follow. That's going to award the 60 points for the overall and the 40 for this set. Cover. Johnson inside the block. Bell waiting. And her side winning.
It's so tough to call right now. Both these teams have really strong pins. Both of them are really utilizing that high ball, but fast as well. So tough for the blockers right now on both sides to really get their bearings.
Back to that pin again. Bell, more defense. Drews off the block. That is a good matchup for Team Hens. And they have gotten to the technical timeout for the 3rd time in 3 sets. We will take the technical. Here it's with Hens ahead, 61-60. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Proud to have them as a sponsor of Season 4. Athletes Unlimited Volleyball coming to you from Mesa, Arizona. What a terrific opening match. Team Hens, Team Valentin Anderson. Almost impossible to get a kill here inside our gymnasium, and it is 61-60 in the overall right now. Team Hens holding just a 1-point lead, 100 team points in the offing, and going to be taken home by whoever wins this third set.
A lot of good conversation there in that orange huddle, and I like that you're seeing players. I saw Gia Day there, one of the newcomers to the league, having conversations, confident enough to voice her opinion. She's seeing a lot, and I think that's also important for players to understand when you're not on the court, when you're not contributing by a points, give your voice. You're gonna see what the players that are maybe out there are not seeing, and that's something you see in the USA gym a lot. Coach Cry is really heavy on getting every player involved in talking about the conversation.
You said bring your voice, and let's bring in the voice now, as well as hopefully a shot of number 31, Gabby Blossom, on Team Valentin Anderson. Hi, Gabby.
How are you guys?
Oh, we're having a great time. You're back for season 2 here with Athletes Unlimited. What brought you back? What good memories did you have?
I think just meeting so many of the girls and having so much fun playing, and like people I looked up to forever, I'm now friends with, and I think this is just a really special league, and how well like we get to know each other in such a short amount of time.
It's one of the best, if not the best, places to play. But I know you studied psychology in college. How does that come into your gameplay now, sort of playing in this very difficult, interesting format?
Yeah, I think just knowing that everyone needs something different, whether they're on or whether they're off, and just kind of understanding like human dynamic and teammates and like how a team dynamic works, especially when we're on like new teams every few days.
Gabby, you of course went with University of San Diego, USD, undefeated in the WCC, all the way to the national semifinal. You saw the top level of college. Now you've played pro. Tell us about the differences.
Yeah, I think people are just really, really physical at the professional level, and then all these veterans that have been playing pro for 10, 15, something crazy years are just so smart, and their IQ of the game just like is incredible to like witness and then also to learn from them.
Talking about high volleyball IQ, and I was just talking about how important it is. If you're sitting on the sidelines, how do you contribute? So what are you saying in the teammates, to your teammates in the huddles to make sure you're sort of contributing and making sure that your voice is heard?
Yeah, I think our job is to just look on the other side and see if we can find openings, and especially like for me as a setter, if I can tell Nati what their middles are doing and how they're kind of reading us and adjusting to us. But definitely, oh, ball's coming. Just trying to like stay engaged and help our teammates out wherever we can.
All right, Gabby, get re-engaged. Your team needs you.
Yes, of course. Nice to talk to you guys.
All right, great to see you. Gabby Blossom performing for Team Valentin Anderson right now, as the biggest lead of the set has been opened up by Team Hens, now 18-14, and a timeout called by Team Valentin Anderson. They trail in the set by 4. They trail in the overall now, key by 3, 64-61.
And now is when it's so important to hear from the teammates, right? And again, Valentin Anderson, they are talking, but we heard from Gabby Blossom that she and Nati are going to converse about what the middles on the other side are doing, what they're targeting, the different things that they can contribute from the sideline. Nati asking for a little more energy out of her teammates, it looks like there, but all smiles still. I love that the pressure hasn't gotten to her.
Yeah, she does bring the positive energy. It seems like the service from Team Valentin Anderson has kind of set the tone, but all of a sudden Team Hens, their first ball side outs picked up over the last few moments.
She also talked about during the draft, she said she looks for great attitude and effort, and she's exemplifying that as well.
Remember how it works here at Athletes Unlimited. You will play 3 sets. We're going to play 3 no matter what. The winner is determined on the overall aggregate score. So right now it's 64-61. Team Hens with the advantage. When you win a set, your team, everyone gets plus 40 to their individual score. When you win the overall, you get a plus 60. There are 180 team points available in any single match, and 60% of your overall score in the course of the season is going to be team success. You can't do it on your own stats. You have to do it with everyone else on your side. All right, you want to come experience AU Pro Volleyball. You want to see everything and actually want to get and be a part of the scoring system. Come on out to Mesa, Arizona. Tomorrow's Green Sports Night. featuring a reusable straw giveaway for the first 250 fans. That's going to be our next set of matches coming up. And go to auprovolleyball.com to buy your tickets today.
Yeah, you should definitely come out if you have a chance. If you're in the area, this is one of the most fun volleyball styles that I think I've ever seen.
We'll next be in action on Sunday. Come on out for that Green Sports Night and
don't
join
come
us.
Saturday.
No, don't come Friday either, because we'll normally be on Fridays. This is the opening night here on a Thursday. It's going to be Friday, Sunday, Monday. Kat Bell on any of those days shutting people down.
I love a good stuff block. That is one of my favorite parts of the game, and I know she's a former medalist. She's feeling it too. That is, ooh, I got goosebumps a little bit.
Love to have a former middle and those reps on the right side. Giving me Alessandro Fay vibes there. That ball missed and the run continues. 66-61 in the overall. And an absolute dominant gap opened up 20-14 now Team Hens. Timeout, second one called for Team Valentin Anderson, facing a 7-1 run.
Great energy on Team Hens. Excellent conversations happening on the sidelines. And again, it's easy, right? When you're winning, when your team and things are gelling, things are going well, it's easy to smile. But I love that they've kind of fought themselves back into this. We saw some really tough serving in the first set from Team Valentin Anderson. Team Hens had to overcome a few things. A lot of good things to talk about this team.
Team captains, Morgan Hens, Natalia Valentin Anderson, two different positions. Hens a libero, Valentin Anderson a setter. They are starting us out. Top four on the leaderboard at the end of this first weekend, finishing up on Monday, will be captains for next week. Our other two captains, Team Nunaville is Brooke Nunaville, our outside hitter. Team De La Cruz, that's the Big Beth, Betania De La Cruz Mejia. She's also an outside hitter. They will face off next. That's going to be 7:30 here on the West Coast, 10:30 Eastern. Both teams in attendance and enjoying opening night here of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. Nunaville are there at the bottom of your screen, alongside her facilitator, DJ Collins Parker. As Team Valentin Anderson has a lot of work to do, and quickly here in set 3.
Yeah, they're in a really tough spot because we've seen some of the players start to step up on Team Hens. Sandy Drews, who was struggling a bit to find some scoring in the first set, she's now picked it up. We see Kat Bell, who's somebody who was fantastic in that first set, got even better and better. So this is just a really good all-around team. Claire Hoffman as well contributing.
You're going to love this dividing line.
Tell me.
In this set. 3 stuffs, 4 controls from Team Hens. 0 stuffs, 1 control for Team Valentin Anderson.
See the stuffs? The
There you
stuffs are the make or break.
Kat Bell on her side hitting 320 to just 9% for the other side. Can they close it out, or will it be a run from Valentin Anderson here? Another dig. Drews. Johnson right into Montserrat. The lefties doing battle. Ooh. Bell nearly didn't play it up. And it goes anyway. So all those big swings, it's the soft stuff that finishes.
And I'm actually shocked to see that that ball almost fell right in front of Kat Bell, only because knowing that Morgan Hens is on the court, I would assume that she would just call everybody off that ball and she would have just stepped in to take it no matter where it was on the court. But those are the kind of little things, those communications, you'll see that throughout the weeks because these teams don't have that long to get to know each other.
67-61 in the overall. Backslide. Kaz Brown terminates. So the 8-1 run comes to a close there, but they still need 6 before they give up 4.
Tough position, but it has to start from the service line. Has to be an aggressive serve, but it has to also be in. That's a tricky spot.
Tough serve, Drews. Oh, that ball could have been mishandled. Rosenthal with the pause. Kingdon, her side needs this one. That's up into the roof, playable. Play continues. Team Hens back to positions. Off the block, Kingdon, a huge kill in what should be the middle of the set if they're going to have a rally on the Team Valentin Anderson side.
Whew, big defensive plays there on both sides. I like how Team Valentin Anderson handled that free ball, though. That's how it should look. Slow to the setter, fast.
Ace! That ball fell off the shelf right before the line. It was up there next to the elf, and then it was on the ground.
The elf, not on the shelf. Flat, no spin on it, targeting Hens right over her shoulder. That one stung.
Down the line, working on Drew. She scoops it. Soft touch. Have to convert. Ball was too tight. What's the call? Over. Here come the women in orange. Team Valentin Anderson is rallying.
That's all they can do. They have to. And Valentin Anderson getting herself underneath that ball in a position to set. Puts her hands up even if she wasn't going to. The referee has to call it that way.
Timeout called by Team Hens. A 4-0 run. What a response from the veteran Valentin Anderson and her week 1 squad. Let's take you into the game with Natalia Valentin Anderson. What's it like to set in Athletes Unlimited?
Well, that just gives you a tiny little look into one of the biggest personalities on the court. First clip there, hair into the net. I couldn't help but laugh because that's exactly how Nati plays. She plays with her heart on her sleeve, her hair in the net. Doesn't matter, she's having fun every single time.
Originally out of Puerto Rico and Florida International University. Here's Savannah Moore on Team Hens. Huh, Savannah?
Well, just being 4 points away from winning this set. You know, those timeouts, you wonder if they're going to make adjustments, and I can take you into the Team Hens huddle. It was more so just to take a breather. In fact, Danny Drew said it best. She said, let's take a deep breath, let's reset. But what I want to point out about this squad is the way that the bench has impacted these huddles. You see Marley Montserrat, Taylor Brunn, Sheridan Atkinson, all getting in with players and immediately starting to chit-chat and give them feedback. You know, when it's coming down to the wire here, you want all the support you can, and this blue bench is locked in.
They are locked in, but they're also loose. I'm watching Karis Watson do some some breakdance moves down there. Those are legit. We have to get her to bust that out at some point this season.
Yeah, the dance moves are one of my favorite parts of this league as well. We got to get the cameras on them more often because everybody who comes to AU comes with their full personality. And Karis Watson is one of the most hilarious humans I think I've ever met.
Kaz Brown, all right with an ace. Trying to drop it deep corner, nearly did. Good touch, but too tight to the net. First ball side out. They're within 3 of closing set number 3, and this match in their favorite Team Hens. 68-65.
Is it just me, or does Danny Drew start to look more calm as the match has gone on? She looked a little stressed, a little rushed maybe in the first set. Now, looks like herself.
I think you're right. It's just week 1, match 1 kind of vibes to start out. Hens extends the rally. Ball's tight. Good touch. Left side telegraph that tip. The power tip, though, had enough. It goes out of bounds. 23-18.
You called it, Kevin. Great touch by Jenna Rosenthal to slow that ball down. She was a little late. She was reaching to the outside, but got the touch just enough for her team to be able to work around and get the point.
Drews keeps the pressure on. Ball is too low. Dunked by Hens just inside the block. Net violation is going to take away what could have been a transition play and send us to a match and set ball. 100 points riding on this serve from Danny Drews. She drives it down the middle. Johnson out of the middle back, hits the back line. Second opportunity to close. 100 team points will happen right now for Team Hens. They can do it on their own side out. Rosenthal, Bell, and Hoffman, your front row.
I'd like to see this ball go middle.
Look for Jenna Rosenthal. Got the pass. Bell hitting arrow right side. I mean, that counts as maybe setting it middle.
Yeah, technically there are two middles in the front court. That ball may be a little bit low for her. She wasn't fully coming into it, but Monserrat has so many options right now. She doesn't have to set her big swingers on the pins.
Third match point opportunity. Still plenty of room. Leading by 3 in the overall. 70-67. Miss this one, you start getting nervous. Won't matter. Kat Bell shuts the door. 25-20. The third set victory, 71-67. The overall win, 100 team points awarded to the women in blue.
The story of that match, a big comeback. Team Valentine Anderson had pressure from the very beginning, really targeting Danny Drews in the reception. And she looked a little shaky at first, not so as the match went on. Taken 36 receptions and 0 errors, just handling that first contact with her libero captain, Morgan Hens. And that stability led them run an offense. Great first set and first match.
140 points to Team Hens. We'll be back to Mesa, Arizona. Talk to the winners after this.
On this team, so I'm just really proud of how we fought back and just maintained our composure level throughout it all.
Week 1, game 1, what'd you learn about this squad in these 3 sets?
We got some fighters, yeah, and I like that we're like ripping off the hinges in big moments. Like we're not afraid to go up and take a big rip on like a hard ball. So I really appreciate us being aggressive and just going for it.
Thank you, Morgan. One of those people who was taking those big rips, Kat Bell. Kat, 12 kills tonight. This is your first game with Athletes Unlimited. First impression?
Yeah, it's just amazing. You know, from start to finish, I think everyone's been so amazing, you know, welcoming. Organization is amazing, you know, and it makes it easy, obviously, playing one of the best liberos in the world, so it's awesome.
With the amount of attempts that you had and kind of being that offensive leader for your team, how did that feel as an opposite, being able to step up into that position for this team on night 1?
I think as an opposite, that's something that we have to wear on our chest every night anyways, but it's been amazing to have the girls trust me in that moment and give me the ball, so it's been great. I take it all in, for sure.
Thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. Kevin Key, back to you.
Kat Bell hits 240, adds 6 digs in to go with those 12 kills. A nice start to her Athletes Unlimited career.
Yeah, incredible to think that she was the 6th pick from Morgan Hens. She wasn't necessarily meant to be one of the stars of this squad, but Hens had such a good, well-rounded squad, getting really good first contacts with those 2 outsides we talked about her using, that she was able to unleash and just let Kat Bell do what she does well. And again, that versatility of former middle, she ran a couple of slides early on, just made the blockers on the other side think twice before putting up a block.
Morgan Hens in her 3rd Athletes Unlimited season, probably using some of that veteran experience sitting in the captain's chair to help her to a 71-67 victory. Match number 1 is in the books. Team Hens on the board. Next up, it'll be Nunaviller and Dela Cruz will be coming your way 7:30 on the West Coast, 10:30 Eastern. Come on back to Mesa. We've got one more to play tonight.